Welcome to the Fearfic Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Hello, everyone. I want to talk to you about a thing called Goodhart's Law. Do you guys know about Goodhart's Law?
No.
Is that like the Good Samaritan Law?
That is absolutely not what it is at all. That's a legal law, and that's your domain with you being a lawyer and everything. But this isn't that kind of law. This is a scientific principle, if you will. So, Goodhart's Law...
It's more my field, then.
Yes, as a king philosopher, a Burger King philosopher, if you will.
Don't go knocking the Bird King. He who shall descend from the heavens and peck out thine eyes.
So you're a Burger King, Bird King lawyer?
Don't get ahead of it. You go with your little cold open. There you go.
Okay, I'll do my little cold open.
Right.
So Goodhart's Law states that an individual can anticipate the effects of a policy when evaluating the outcome of its actions, thus manipulating its policy. So I'm going to give you an example of what that means, because that sounds complex. It's really not.
See, when you said science, I thought you meant like a hard, real science, not political science.
Yeah, this is kind of a poli-sci kind of socio thing going on.
All right, I'm gonna.
No. You guys are going to agree with this.
I'll be right back. I'll leave when you nerds are done.
Okay, so here's an example of it: the Cobra effect. In India, the government offered money in exchange for each dead cobra that was turned in to reduce the abundance of loose cobra snakes in the Indian streets. At first, the policy seemed successful. People would kill loose cobra snakes for the reward, but after some time, people began to just breed them in their house and then hand over dead cobras to the government for money. Mm-hmm. So that's not achieving the actual result. And I wanted to talk about this in relation to how YouTube works and how narrators had taken over Creepypasta, because they are essentially profiting off of Goodhart's Law. YouTube does not police content that is like written in that way, so they were able to benefit off of SEO optimization. Thus, they got all of the attention away from the authors. And so that's what Goodhart's Law is. It's manipulating the system by knowing the rules of it.
So you would call... Oh, I came back at the tail end of that, by the way. I didn't hear any of what you said, but... So you would call narrations on YouTube, you'd call them dead cobras? That would be your term?
Yes.
Got another dead cobra here.
It's a stack of dead cobras.
Going to put all the dead cobras in a Chinese dog bath.
Okay, guys, everybody out there who's listening to this, if we get like 300, 500 views on this, I want all of you listening to this. Whenever you see a narration by somebody where it's clear they don't actually care about the source material, like they're just reading it barely, a bare reading, there's no production value, there's no nothing, there's like mistakes in it and everything.
There's just anyway.
Yeah, refer to that as a dead cobra.
Yeah.
Just refer to that as a dead cobra. Comment on it, say, nice dead cobra.
You ever give a girl a dead cobra?
That's where you can't get it hard, but you try anyway.
Or you just try to shove it in and it's a bit scary. It is always interesting. I troll the nosleep OOC subreddit from time to time.
Yeah, he's always posting gore and
getting banned
always
over and over again. But they can't keep me out. I see like a lot of complaints are fielded, and mostly it's, boy, I really hate all these stupid ass rules that keep getting my stories blocked. But occasionally there will be narrator or narration centric discussions, and often it wasn't always this way, but the trend has changed from how to best get my story narrated to, okay, I need to make sure that like I'm not getting fucked over on narrations. How do I demand adequate payment, and how do I keep track of it? And now it's, you guys notice that narrations actually don't do shit for your popularity as an author?
Yeah.
And now it's, you know what, I'm just going to make my own subreddit with my own stories. You can find me here. which is cool. Like, that's fine as a natural progression, but it completely... I think they still just don't understand that No Sleep is just this giant-ass depository of stories that are quickly and kind of... I don't know. They're just consumed, and they don't really mean anything.
Basically, the stories on No Sleep and places like that for a long time have been frozen rats. Only good for dead cobras.
With thumbs
only
up.
Good for dead cobras. It's kind of like the amateur porn of writing. It's just...
See, amateur porn is fun, and it feels genuine.
Yes, but it's also very disposable, and no one cares.
True.
I anticipated this. I didn't, when I started getting into the world of narrating my own stories and everything, I didn't anticipate just the depravity of everything. But I did know that it would end up being an issue if I didn't have full control of my stories. And I have an okay voice, so it's like, screw it, I'm just going to narrate my own things, even though some of my stories are from a female perspective. I don't care. At least I have control.
I mean, most
YouTube is where
don't
the attention
care
is.
Either.
No.
It's a running joke of deep, gravelly voiced male. I'm a 16-year-old girl, and I'm going to the park. It's like not convincing at all.
I went up to her and punched her in the face. She said, "Why?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Changing voice mid story too is funny.
It's great.
I'll occasionally do that when I narrated Abandoned by Disney. Not sure if anyone's ever heard of that. Mickey Mouse talks in it, and I actually did the Mickey Mouse voice.
Yeah, Abysmii went, and then Mickey spoke in a hushed voice, and he said, "You're so silly. Watch me take my head off." That's exactly what he did. Exactly what he did. Valley Girl Mickey, anybody?
That's different though. Like if you're not going out of your way to get like another person on there, hey, that's whatever. But like if it's a consistent narration of just like, yeah, I'm a 14-year-old girl. I'm going to an art school. My favorite interests are K-pop. I'm really into BTS. And you're just doing that. That's a interesting perfunctory. That's a dead cobra for sure.
Yeah. Now BTS, that does stand for Beat Them Senseless, correct?
Yes.
Beat the dead cobra senseless. Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
Right. See, people, K-pop's evil.
See,
so
people,
I was going
beat cobras.
I was going to a Burger King drive-thru, and I heard that at Burger King you can have it your way, and I asked for the dead cobra burger, and they just refused to give me that. They started calling the police. They told me to leave. That was very frustrating for me because I thought you could just go there and order anything you want.
I can't imagine snake meat is very good. Rather sinewy, aren't they?
Snake meat is not a very good narrator, but if you check out their channel. Snake Meat presents.
Be sure to like and subscribe. Snake Meat.
Snake Meat presents top 25 stories narrated by a little girl. My name is Cindy, and I'm 5 years old. My imaginary friend, Mr. PP.
Holy shit! Someone write down Snake Meat narrator because that needs to stay. We need to use that.
So Burger King.
Actually, it would be something like snake pasta, but yeah. All right, anyway.
No, it's got to be snake. It's got to be some, like, fucking dude out in the middle of goddamn, like, nowhere, Arkansas, who's narrating creepypastas because he thinks it's a fun thing to do.
No, I know what it is. Snake Meat is a guy out in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas, like you said, and he's posting these videos that are about terrible, scary things, and people are like, cool story, and he's like, what you talking about, story? No, it literally happened. This is just my personal channel. I don't get it. So anyway, there was a Wendigo in the barn.
There was a 4-headed deer outside, and I fought it with my bare hands.
There was a 5-headed deer, and it won.
But he only survived with one head. The other ones got cut off.
There was a deer hydra, basically, for every head I cut off. 2 more would grow.
Everyone go subscribe to Snake Meat.
I call it the high deer.
Started off like a complex, weird creature. In the end, it just ended up being a deer.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I was sipping some absinthe, and things might have got a little wormwoody.
I was drinking some bathtub absinthe.
You
damn it.
Yeah, he just
Good.
makes his own absinthe.
I wouldn't make botanicals in the bathtub, but you could.
Botanicals in
Anyway,
the
top
bathtub
10.
sounds like a Disney ride.
Top 10 times making botanicals in the bathtub turn sour.
God damn it.
Number 10. Wendigo attacked me because the absinthe wasn't good. Bad synth.
I was looking over the bath synth, and it was supposed to be a bluish green. Came out mostly red, so that was probably an issue. And then the Wendigo showed up.
Welcome to Snake Meat's narration channel. Tonight's story, the Wendigo who lives next door. I think he's moving the property line. That's it.
Yes! Fucking, oh, yeah, no. I'm going to do something with snake meat eventually.
He just has a change of career and he starts making explained videos and he's like, is Wormwood Wendigo?
True crime. Entry number 45.
Today
so the
we're going to
Wendigo
talk
showed
about.
up and hit my mailbox.
Today we're going to talk about this ARG on the interwebs called Been Drowned, and yeah, it ain't real because video games, they're a bunch of bullshit. See ya.
I played video games once, and it was Pac-Man.
Listen, I'm as big a fan as anybody of video games. I'm a bit of an expert. I play the bowling game down at the bar with the little trackball.
He's like, hey, I love Pac-Man, especially the American version. You know, that guy on the cover, the big overweight guy with a helmet on. Yeah, that's Pac-Man. None of this anime bullshit.
I always identified with human Pac-Man.
Double draw snake meat. The narrator, please.
Yes.
I love how I confused Pac-Man and Mega Man.
Yeah.
Good job, Brandon.
That's all right.
Wow.
Well, I mean, is there much of a difference?
No,
Not really.
DP.
No, one
Snake meat confused them, DP. Come on now.
That makes more sense. One shoots balls, one eats balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Both have ghosts.
Just like me and my cousin Teddy. One of us shoots balls, the other eats balls.
I ain't got no problem with it, but I don't let him near the bath synth. That's damn sure.
Just like my cousin Ball Meat.
Tonight on Let's Not Snake Meat.
Somebody out there start a subreddit called Let's Not Snake Meat. It's just Let's Not Meat, but about snakes.
It's just snake meat going through every YouTube trend completely obliviously. Like he doesn't understand what he's doing. I love it.
Here's my makeup tutorial.
You gotta put the camo on under the eyes.
Now listen here. Back when I was part of the atheist community called, back then my channel was I Believe in God Atheist. God damn it. Anyway.
Remember when atheism was like the big subject that got you to be a big YouTuber?
That was a weird time.
That was a weird time.
There was a lot of dead cobras. A lot of people who were just like,
hey everybody, let's get together and discuss how much we don't believe in God.
So, would you say that Jesus is king? Because I would say that Burger is king. Let's get to the fucking story.
No.
Let's get to the fucking story. We're reading Burger King drive-thru, which sounds an awful lot like Wendy's drive-thru. Plagiarism much, internet? No. By Key Switch 1. So this person has switch keyblades. They are not Sora. It is, in fact, Riku.
Oh.
Yeah, only once. Used to work at Burger King a few years back. I was a teenager in high school at the time, and I really needed the money to save up for college. I was taking every shift I could get. I even covered my coworkers if they left early. What?
Nothing.
That was how I ended up working the night shift, and I even never went back to work there ever since.
Oh.
So they worked the night shift once, and then that was the end of it for them.
They switched keys once, they worked the night shift once. This guy just quits everything.
Yeah.
The middle issues.
Goes to college for 1 year, quits.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I knew a dude in college. He had... I guess I'll get to that.
I
But
knew a dude in
basically-
college for a brief time because he quit after one class.
Well, okay, he lasted one semester. He didn't go to a single class. He didn't turn in a single paper. He sat in his room just coding. I don't know what. I think he was running like some part of the IT for the school. This was in Scotland. He was Scottish, so the education for him was free, and then he just left.
So he was Scottish. He was in his dorm room at college coding something. Is he the creator of, I don't know, Faceblarg or something like that?
I don't know. It was strange as shit.
Scottish Facebook, Faceblarg? No? Okay.
Good one.
The manager was like Mr. Krabs from the show SpongeBob SquarePants. But if he lived in real life as a human.
So he's shaped exactly the same, eyes sticking out of his head, but human. Okay.
Arr, me face blarg.
It's like that episode where Mr. Krabs loses his shell and he's all fleshy and weird. He barely paid us minimum wage, and that was only because he was required to by law. Yeah, that's what minimum wage... Yeah, okay. His name was Tom.
By the way, does the manager at Burger King set people's salaries? Or...
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah.
No, corporate does. Unless it's a... I don't know if Burger King does, what are they called, franchises?
This here's a mom-and-pop Burger King.
I don't know. Well, no. His name was Tom, and he looked like a typical manager.
Wait.
Krabs.
What was his name?
Tom.
There you go.
Oh, no, it's Thomas! Thomas switched from being a fucking sommelier and wine connoisseur.
Yeah.
I am
manager. I work at the Burger King now.
Would you like wine with your burger?
Tom, we can't do that. What? No.
My God, he's so broken up inside.
By the way, people, Tom is still out there, so more likes on that video to get him back. A middle-aged, overweight man with a receding hairline. As soon as the night shift began, he told us, "I can't hang out here all night. I have a life."
I am a real human.
And left us in the hands of the assistant manager.
Oh.
He's like, "I am alive," and he exits to his car, and then he just pours himself a bottle of wine and starts drinking it in the car.
Yes.
And then he just stays there all night drinking wine, and then when his shift is out, he just gets out of the car and goes back into work.
Life over. Anyway. The assistant manager was not any better. In fact, he was worse, in my opinion. Okay. None of us liked him. His name was Buzz, and he was a control freak. Sorry, go ahead.
Buzz Lightyear.
Ah. Anytime he caught us slacking off, he would snitch on us to the manager whenever he got the chance. I remember that we used to go as far as to call him Buzzkill behind his back. I wouldn't mind being called Buzzkill. Like, that's a name you could spin positive, you know? What's up, guys? It's me, Buzzkill!
I don't know how you would spin that positively.
It just sounds cool.
Okay.
Carry a saw, like a buzz saw around with you, make people think that's why.
It was just like, God damn it. I've talked to you. I've talked to you so many times. Not bringing us all to work.
I needed to cut the meat.
Yeah.
I'm Buzzkill.
Yeah. It was an inside joke of ours because we found out pretty quickly that he did not have a sense of humor. I found out from personal experience when I accidentally slipped over a drink someone spilled on the floor and fell on my butt. Everyone else laughed except him, who had compassion, who told me to go back to work with a displeased look on his face.
Okay, so I think that's a pretty cool little detail, though, of just like, hey, this is like a moment of personal embarrassment where, like, I'm laughing at myself, they're all laughing at me, but he's, like, not joining in.
Yeah.
But to nitpick...
Want to know why?
Why?
Not because he doesn't have a sense of humor. It's because when someone in a managerial position sees that happen, their first thought is, oh, shit, workers' comp.
Yeah, you're right. He
got out... Let me finish the paragraph here. He got out a push broom and slid me across the floor in soda, pushing me to the grill. I went back to work.
No, but that is like you could just say that that's part of the story too. Is our narrator isn't wise enough to realize that that's happening.
Yeah,
but I think it's a weird thing to say that it's an inside joke when if you explain that the person's name was Buzz and they didn't have a sense of humor, calling them Buzzkill really isn't an inside joke because it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, and I don't mind that setup. I just think the way it was introduced, like, it would have been nice if we just heard some dialogue and then someone said, oh, shit, everyone back to work, here comes Buzzkill. And, like, we didn't need to be told. We just went, oh, because he's a Buzzkill, his name is Buzz. That would have been, I would have been more on board with it.
And then they all fall into the back rooms, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
It was 9:02 a.m. We fell into the back rooms.
I'm not opposed to this story so far. I'm enjoying it though.
That's fine.
9:02 a.m. was my favorite 90s show.
It's like 90210, but it just takes place at a Burger King.
Yeah, everybody's sleeping. It's 90210, but they're all asleep.
Buzz cleared his throat to get all of us to listen to him and said, once we all stopped what we were doing, the manager may not be here, but I am. Right now. I am your Burger King, and you have to do whatever I say, whenever I say.
Beautiful.
Buzz was 14.
Beautiful.
You have to do what I say, whenever I say.
Give me that paper crown. I'm the Burger King now.
Oh my god, if he just walks around with a Burger King on his head all the time. I like this, though. Like, if it ends up being that he's our villain, and he is just a delusional fuck, that's hilarious.
And as ridiculous as that line is, I can believe someone saying that. I can believe someone without a sense of humor who doesn't possess enough self-awareness of like common young person sarcasm and meme culture and shit. If you walked up and said, well, when the manager's not here, I'm the Burger King, okay? Like, I can see someone saying that and meaning it.
And if you disagree, you're going to get quarter pounded. But yeah.
That's the wrong franchise.
I am the Burger King. I couldn't
get back to work. Get back to work on the McDouble, everyone.
Buzz, do you know where you are? Yeah, I'm at Wendy's. What's the problem?
Could you... Okay, picture a guy who's a typical stuck-up manager, glasses, average, kind of doughy guy, say, when the boss isn't here, I am your Wendy. You're like... I think that would be good.
He's got the pigtails on.
Yes.
Do they ask you to like king size me? Would you like that king sized? Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I can't see how they haven't said that at some point.
I haven't been to a Burger King in a very long time, but I will say this. Burger King at least will give you veggie burgers if you ask for it. McDonald's, I don't think, does that. Just saying. I couldn't help but start chuckling. I glanced around and saw that my coworkers were also trying not to laugh, at how ridiculous Buzz was being. I mean, really, I am your Burger King?
Okay, repeating it doesn't help, but...
Yeah. Buzz said with a serious tone, "What's so funny, Eugene?"
Besides your name? I wasn't surprised when he targeted me out of everyone in the group. Him and I hadn't gotten along ever since the day I was hired. I never found out why he didn't like me, but I assumed it was because I was wearing a t-shirt that said Buzz sucks. Oh, no. But I assumed it was for no reason. He was the only person there that called me by my full name. Everyone else just called me Yui. No, everybody else just called me Gene.
Everyone else called me Yingui Malmsteen.
Everyone else called me Todd. Really, Buzz was very considerate. He didn't like that I fell, and he called me by my real name. Actually, Buzz was a good guy.
I said quickly, trying to suppress my laughter. Nothing. Buzz leaned in close and stated with a tone of authority, "I could get you fired if I wanted to, Eugene."
That's how managers work. Just in
I
case
could
you
get
weren't
you
aware.
beheaded. I am the Burger King. I could have you be turned into meat. You better not mess with me if you know what's good for you. He leaned away from me and instructed everyone. As for all of you, you need something. If you need something, please hesitate to ask.
Ooh.
I will be in my office doing assistant manager duties.
Ew.
And with that, he retreated to his office and shut the door. By assistant manager duties, we're assuming that he is organizing all of his Funko Pops, correct?
I mean, assistant managers would probably just be working to register. Like,
I would imagine.
Buzz was a real hard ass who had no sense of humor and was kind of a dick. He went back into his office, and we could hear through the door, "Hey everybody, Snake Meat here to debunk another Top 10 video."
Now we gotta talk to you about these vapor trails, okay? They are causing the Wendigos.
Listen, I went out there, and they're saying that the frogs are gay, but ain't none of them hitting on me, so I don't know.
I would say that the assistant manager would be doing that kind of stuff, but I've been in plenty of situations where people in authority places just do literally no work. So
Sure, but in the context of a fast food establishment, I think assistant managers are basically just the shift managers usually. They're
Allegedly.
like from what I've seen, most assistant managers I've ever encountered are just working the cash register. They're helping with other things. They're managing directly. They're like middle management, not upper management.
I would say that the person writing this probably is writing from some sort of experience, if not Burger King, something similar, though.
That's true. That is true. I could be entirely wrong about this, or just off as far as this story is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 of us besides Buzz who were working the night shift. There was Amy, who was an Asian girl. Oh, Asian girls flipping burgers.
She's Asian? Oh, I'm all about that.
I'm immediately enamored with the story now.
It's funny how you guys are both like, ooh, Asian, and my immediate thought was, why do we need to specify her? Oh, never mind. Okay, whatever, guys.
I was going to make that joke next, but yeah.
That's the exact joke, because that's the extent of her personality.
Another girl that worked there was Kelly, who was a white girl. Like, okay, sure.
Well, depending on where this is, this might be the first Asian girl Eugene has ever seen.
The first Asian girl Eugene has ever seen. Sounds like a lyric from a Fall Out Boy song or something.
She was the first girl Eugene had ever seen. Who was Asian. Who was an Asian girl who worked there because her parents made her get a job. Next, there was Mike, a tall and skinny guy, no race, who needed to work to take care of his daughter that he had when he was in high school.
He was a tall, raceless man.
Sorry. My name is Mike. I don't have a race.
The second guy was Slender Man.
My name is Mike. I sell off of Todd. Pardon me. Sorry. Remind me never to do that voice.
Only I am allowed to do it.
Yes.
Lastly, there was an old man named Bob, no race, who had worked there since the place first opened because he still didn't have enough money to retire.
Guys, this is plagiarized from Wendy's drive-thru.
Is it?
Wendy's drive-thru was drive-thru, a manager who was a dick, and an old man who worked there. And so two nameless girls that were just treated like the girls. Let's see where this goes.
Is it plagiarism, or is this just a trope that is seen not just in stories, but in a lot of movies, too?
Maybe all of these are inspired by Good Burger, but...
I don't know. This is just...
Or the motion picture Clerks 2.
Yeah.
See, now...
Yeah, that was where I was going.
I'm overstating the thing when I say this is plagiarized. I'm just being like, oh, here are the clues that it might be. So we'll see where it goes, but,
But yeah, Asian girl, like that is weird. I don't know. It's weird to me because
it's weird that an Asian girl was working in Burger King.
Well, no, it's weird to me because where I live there is a very, very large Asian population. So like this does not stand out to me. Like this is just normal. So I don't know. Well, maybe Brandon's right. Maybe it's oh my god, Asian girl.
Well, I mean, like, it depends, because, like, I also live in an area with a lot of diversity and everything, so it isn't anything to me, but I grew up in a very white area, and so, I don't know, it could be. Yeah. Regardless, it's really cringe to, like, point out their race.
And no one else's.
And no one else's. So there's that.
So, who is it now?
Yours.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I whispered. That's me, right? I whispered.
Yeah.
I'm choking kind of. I was unconscious for about 3.5 seconds. I whispered to Amy so that Buzz couldn't hear me. Buzzkill is really living up to his name, isn't he? She giggled and whispered back, and I'm not doing an Asian accent. I guess so. We need to get. Oh wait, we'll do like snake meat. I guess so, said the little girl. We need to get back to work though.
This is a fucking hentai.
And then he was just like, "Oh my god, Amy, you're so kawaii."
This is the setup for a fucking hentai.
We need to get
an Asian girl in my Burger Kingdom.
We need to get back to work. We need to get back to work," said Amy, suddenly turning tsundere. I know I'm not pronouncing it right.
So big, I don't understand how she could operate the deep fat fryer without getting scalded.
Damn it.
Oh, sorry, you did that. I whispered, "Okay, whatever you say, Mom." What the fuck?
When have you ever read After Slimebeast?
When I fuck up, that's when. Go.
I whispered, okay, whatever you say, Mom. That was
Hentai.
our inside joke that we had between the two of us. I would call her Mom whenever she told me what to do.
Yeah, that's...
Fucking hentai.
Okay.
This didn't happen.
Yeah.
I love when you go Anthony Fantano, just like, and you're not intending to. This didn't happen. Oh man, my job was to
Creepypasta
take
review.
my Ridge wallet here with fucking. My job was to take the orders. At first, we had several customers that would come in the late evening. Then that amount would lessen as the evening gradually turned to late night.
Wow.
After midnight, hardly anyone ever came. That was another reason why I decided to take the night shift, because I knew that I would get paid for doing hardly any work. That's fair. That I like that paragraph. Not 100%, but I like the reasoning behind it.
Isn't nighttime like where I worked in a theater, not necessarily. I also worked in fast food, but never the night shift. But I worked in a theater where they had me do night shift one time, and that was like that was the big time for cleaning everything and doing a lot of
Closing sucks. Yeah.
a
sure.
lot of the stuff that you couldn't do while customers were there. So I would think in a Burger King the night shift you would have something to do. I don't know.
Well, I think it kind of depends on
He does
what
say
you want.
hardly any work.
Yeah.
Not no.
It depends on whether you want to talk to customers or clean up. I would vacillate between those two things because they both have their pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know about you and your affection for Vaseline. Okay. This is me again, right?
Yep.
Why is it so hard to keep track of this story? I sat in a chair that I had pulled next to the drive-thru window and was looking at posts on Instagram when I heard it. A notification. I had a new message. No. I heard an ear-splitting howling coming from outside. I thought at first that it could have just been a stray dog, or even a wolf. But that cry sounded like something from a horror movie. Ooh, that makes it even spookier. Whatever made that sound sounded too big to be a dog or a wolf. In fact, it almost had a human-like sound to it. It was a Wendigo.
Everybody's snake meat here again. So there I was at my drive-thru job, and then the Wendigo rolls up and tries to order like 100 hamburgers. And I say, get out of here, Wendigo. You know I can't do that.
So I'm working my job at the drive-thru at Wendy's, and a Wendigo rolls up, and I said, Wendigo, are you ordering Wendy's to go? This is absurd. I shot him in the forehead.
I ran into the kitchen in the back of the restaurant and exclaimed, guys, did you hear what I heard?
Why would you do that?
Mike asked, what you talking about, man?
Oh, God.
What you talk about, mate?
Yeah, no, you guys have the wrong accent for that.
I don't know what we're doing.
Hey, I thought you were going to do it.
Mike is tall and skinny. He's a tall guy who's saying, what you talking about, man? I don't think British is what we were going for here.
I think he's supposed to be of the black variety, Mike.
Oh.
He is a black Mike.
Black Variety was my favorite late night show back in the day.
When I see what, I think Cockney. I think Londoner. So that's where my mind went.
Maybe he is a Cockney black guy.
Yeah.
Those do exist. Also in London.
Maybe he's a BBC big black Cockney.
God damn it. See, my joke was going to be that Cockney black guy sounded like a 1970s exploitation movie, but that's better.
Whose turn is it?
It's your turn.
I just want to say, now I'm really reminded of the Wendy's drive-thru because this is hitting more of those beats. And realistically speaking, even in horror movies, which this has already referenced, it's not. You hear spooky sound. Holy shit, what is that? It's hear spooky sound, do nothing, hear it again, peer out the window, hear it a third time, finally investigate, and then die. Get
a call where the old man answers the phone and turns pale and runs away. That type of shit.
Yeah, right.
Here's the question I have. Are our manager and Buzzkill going to come into this in any way, shape, or form, or was that just set dressing to waste our time?
I think it's set dressing, which pisses me off because now I can't do more Tom voice.
I think Buzz will, but Tom won't.
Yeah, Buzz will.
Buzz will, but Tom won't.
Yep.
BWTW.
All right.
Amy, Mike, and I all started laughing. I said,
Nope.
Oh, shit, sorry. Amy looked at me as if she thought I was just yanking everyone's chains. penises. But then Bob started, I've heard that sound once before. The creature that you heard was a werewolf. Amy, Mike, and I all started laughing. I said, that's really funny. You're just messing with us, aren't you, old man?
Bob shook his head and said, I am not messing with you. I encountered a werewolf once when I was just a young whippersnapper.
Okay.
And that's what it sounded like.
Old people don't talk like that, even today.
Where am I, Burger King? Oh, God.
I remember Burger King before the war. What war? I don't know, one of them.
I served under King Burger.
My people have served the Burger House for 7 millennia. No, it's your turn, Slimebeast.
What?
Yes.
It's still my turn?
No, I just went. It's your turn now.
The three of us laughed again. Why are we having a problem with this episode? And Amy, you know what it is? It's the no sleep style of writing a story where it's like sentence is a paragraph, then there's a real paragraph, then sentence is a paragraph, and it confuses us.
I mean, I'm tired. I don't know about you guys.
I'm alert and ready to flirt.
I'm alert and ready to squirt. My name's Brandon Patrick.
My name's Naomi. Welcome to my cam show.
Welcome to my cam show.
Join Brandon's OnlyFans page.
He doesn't understand the concept of a cam show, and he's like, so here's what we do. We're going to get the mirror out, and I'm going to show you what the camera looks like with the camera.
Yeah.
The three of us laughed again, and Amy said, if you're trying to scare us, it's not going to work. But then the howling outside grew louder, as if the creature was coming closer to where we were, and we all flinched from the noise.
Abysmii, really sell this line, buddy.
I don't want to. You can't make me.
Do it.
No.
So for everybody listening there, Mike is the character that is either British or quote-unquote urban, as people say.
Or both.
And
Probably
both. Here is the line that Mike says, Abysmii.
Mike asked, maybe it's just a dog, bruv, innit?
That's better than what it says.
Let me express to people who are listening but not reading, that says maybe is, with IZ, just, J-U-S, a dog. Good God.
This is weird. This is uncomfortable to read.
How is this story about a Burger King drive-thru weird? I don't get it. Are you done reading with that?
Yeah,
Jim?
No, I'll keep going. Before I could answer, Bob explained, that sounds too big to be a dog. That's no moon, it's a space station. Like I said, it's a werewolf.
That's not the moon up there, you fools, that's a dog.
I still remember the time the werewolves of London came and attacked our Burger Kingdom.
Oh, God. Somebody fetch me a steak. Damn it, all we have are burgers. Anyway, steaks don't kill werewolves. That's okay.
Vampires,
take that out.
Yeah.
Take that out. Elias.
No, I'll leave it in.
No.
Leave it in.
I'm sure if you put enough steaks into a werewolf, they're not going to be a fan of it.
Okay, let me redo that take. Let me redo that. Somebody get the silverware. Oh, damn, it's all plastic. All right. I didn't want to believe the old man, but I couldn't think of anything else that it could have been. Fuck. It has to be a werewolf. It couldn't be anything else.
It could have been any other animal.
It could even be other monsters, dude. While I was trying to think about what I should do about the situation, Buzz stormed out of his office and demanded, "Who keeps making that noise? I can't get anything done with that awful racket. Was it you, Eugene? Is this your idea of a joke? Because it's not funny. Are you dead, Eugene? Is it all right if I kick you? Bob, Mike, Amy, this boy is dead." And then he jumped in his car and drove away. King of Suma Beach, ladies and gentlemen.
King of Suma Beach, ladies and gentlemen.
Burger King of Suma Beach.
The
Yes.
Kingdom of Suma Beach. I exclaimed, "It wasn't me, Buzz. Even if it was me, why would I waste such a good prank on you anyway?"
That's subordination.
It wasn't me, Buzz. I swear I didn't do a werewolf howl.
Oh, I swear I'm not a furry. Ooh-woo notices your furry employee. The howling started again, except that time, not this time, that time, it was even louder than the first 2 times I heard it. We all jumped back, except for Buzz, who did not want to look like he was scared. He scowled at all of us, and his expression turned into one of confusion after he must have realized that none of us was pranking him, bruv, at this point. He looked at me and commanded, "Eugene, go outside and see what's making that noise."
That sounds about right.
That sounds good. Yeah, I like the idea of like he's being forced into it.
Eugene, Eugene, the one I hate specifically, go die.
Yeah.
Which you could absolutely refuse, because that's not part of my job description. Fuck you.
He whips out the contract, Burger King contract standard from corporate, little byline that says, all werewolf problems must be investigated by a employee chosen by Buzz.
Well, what would you call them? Like, what is their, because you have like different corporate terms for different positions. What do they call them? Do they call them burger cadets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Burger serfs.
Burger Serf.
They should be, because it's Burger King. They absolutely should be Burger Serfs.
And like anytime there's an update, you just get a mass email that's like, attention all burger royalists.
All those loyal to the Burger Crown. Eat my words. Usually I had to do what Buzz instructed me to do because, that's my job. But my better judgment was against it. Instead, I said firmly, no, I won't go outside. For all I know, it could be a werewolf, like Bob was saying. No, just say, that's not my job. No, if it's possibly like a wild animal.
What if you just started using that excuse in everyday life where it's like, there's a Karen who wants to talk to a manager. No, for all I know, she's a werewolf.
What if she's a were-Karen?
What? A carewolf.
Carewolf.
Yeah.
Every time you ignore their pleas, they just turn into a fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
Buzz scoffed. You're dumber than I thought, Eugene. You're seriously listening to an old man that barely even remembers his own name half the time?
Oof.
Since none of you seem to have the guts to outside, I will go out there myself to take care of it.
And then he died.
He ripped his guts out and bled out on the floor.
Oh, okay. I've never done this. I need to do this. Double. I need a big, vicious werewolf with a Karen haircut.
Yes.
Draw the nastiest, most vicious were-Karen you can think of.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted to stop him, but I thought that he'd taken it too far when he insulted the old man. The old man was like the father that I never had, but you just were making fun of him earlier.
The old man. I can't believe he was making fun of the old man for his age. The old, decrepit man who wore a diaper because he was old as dust and he kept shitting dust into his dust diaper.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Dust diaper here. What?
Take you back with my DIY project. You see, here's the dust diaper.
God damn it. Father that I never had. So by the way, calling him the old man, much easier than calling him Bob. So I didn't try to stop him when he went outside. However,
do you think maybe he was in the middle of writing the story and he was like, oh, what did I name the old man character? Oh, fuck it. I'm not going to go back and figure out.
However, it wasn't long before all we could hear the howling. However, it wasn't long before we could all hear the howling turn into a snarl. Next, we heard Buzz scream in pain. Buzz's screams grew more and more louder until they had turned into high-pitched wails. No, not that kind of wail. I almost threw up from having to listen to that. There we go.
What?
We got our barf moment. It felt like eternity before his screaming stopped. We all waited to see if he would come back inside and scoff at us for falling for his sick joke, but he never came back. So the werewolf, I like the idea, I don't know if this will be touched upon, but I like the idea that the werewolf actually did get drive-thru from Burger King in the form of Buzz.
I just want to point out, Buzz, our dick of a boss who has no sense of humor, we were expecting him to come back on this sick joke that he made up when he doesn't have a sense of humor.
I suppose so. I like this idea that that just doesn't make any sense. But I like the idea that he's out there screaming and he's like, "No, I was anointed by the burger god to be the kingdom."
Don't you know who I work for? The king of burgers.
Maybe he's just Joffrey from King of Thrones, from Game of
King
Thrones.
Of Thrones. Burger King of Thrones.
Maybe he's just Joffrey and he's like, don't you know who I am? I'm the manager of Burger King. Show some respect.
Before I could do anything, I saw something moving from the corner of my eye. Then the lights went out for several minutes and came back. After that, I noticed Bob was missing. Did he go outside to try to help Buzz? I looked around the kitchen at Amy and Mike. Just a reminder, Amy is Asian, and Mike is black and/or Cockney.
Mike is insert minority.
Either way,
insert other minority.
And either way, it's not well-intentioned.
What is up? What is up, YouTube? It's me, insert minority, here to own more feminists and SJWs. Insert minority sounds exactly like one of those fucking names.
Hey guys, black person here to tell you opinion from black perspective. And my perspective as a black. Oh, I hate those YouTube channels so goddamn much. But they both seemed just as confused and frightened as I was. I suggested, how about we split up and look for them, gang? Maybe we might find Buzz, too. Why would you care?
Why hasn't anyone called the cops?
Why hasn't anyone called the Bubby?
The Bubby?
We are assuming that this is, like, in England, though, because...
No,
because, like,
it's just weird.
Or this person just doesn't understand how black people talk and is trying to, like...
I think that's the case, but I'm not sure.
I think that maybe. I don't know.
I believe there's a preponderance of evidence.
We all knew deep down that Buzz was probably dead, but I thought that I'd keep high spirits in case he really was taking advantage of the fact that we were scared. I couldn't convince myself, though, because I remembered after what I said that Buzz did not have a sense, S-I-N-C-E, of humor, so he wouldn't pull any pranks, especially ones that elaborate.
Well, there you go, Mr. Stupid Critic.
Yeah.
You got your answer.
I referenced the thing that I should have referenced before it happened later.
Hey everybody, Stupid Critic here. Welcome to my channel.
Well, to be fair, though, I do think... I'm not saying this about the author. But I think that the narrator is supposed to be kind of young and naive and a little gullible. So that it probably didn't dawn on them that, like, oh, wait, this person, that's just out of character for them.
Again, I don't mind that being something a character reveals to itself. I think presentation and execution is the problem here. I like that Buzzkill is a nickname. It's presented poorly. I like that our narrator has this revelation. It's presented too far after the reader has already made this conclusion. So now, like, the reader's just like, yeah, I know. Why are you telling me this? It's telling, not showing.
Perhaps.
Again, dialogue would have been better. Hey guys, Buzz is pulling a really funny prank, right? Dude, Buzz doesn't have a sense of humor. Oh shit, right. That would it would be more immersive, more convincing.
Why do none of these stories about working a boring day job ever, like, talk about the actual boring day job or incorporate the mechanics of the boring day job?
That is a no sleep specific thing of, like, I got to set this in a place and insert I work at blank and encountered a blank.
By
so
the way,
the actual place and the actual cryptid don't fucking matter. You just have to get them in there. So nothing really matters. It's just make this a supernatural thing that's seemingly realistic.
By the way, I was reading, actually, right before we were recording this, I was reading a thread on No Sleep OOC where somebody was asking if they were allowed to use, like, creepypasta characters in stories. And the answer from, like, I think a moderator, if I remember correctly, was no, you can't use anyone else's property in your stories.
Lamau.
By the way, Burger King drive-thru, I worked at this, I did that. What the real reason Toys R Us shut down? Have you ever seen this show, that show, this comic? It's like, it seems like they only just want to keep the creepypasta guys out. Every other story is other people's property.
And you could chalk that up to them being naive and thinking, oh, if you couldn't put Pennywise in a story.
I bet you could. Yeah.
You could. It's if someone would confuse your story with that of Stephen King because you're writing it about Pennywise and it's not obvious fanfic or whatever, that would be one thing. But for instance, you can say I was drinking a Coca-Cola. You don't have to have the rights or permission to reference Coca-Cola. You just can't appear as I understand it, as an endorsement of something. And that's really hard to do in most stories because certain things are ubiquitous. This story's already referenced Instagram. I believe that they were surfing Instagram.
Yeah, since this is, like, actually bordering on legal advice, Abysmii is not actually a lawyer.
Not a damn lawyer.
We normally like to keep the joke up. but that's getting into
I will
a
say,
little bit of legal.
I know this not for my job, but because when I was doing some other creative projects a couple years ago, I actually had to research, including brands in audio and visual media, will I get in trouble? And that was my research. So do not rely on that as legal advice, but it makes sense. You can't expect everybody in the world to not reference ubiquitous branding. Yeah, especially things that have become generic, like Coke, for example.
Yeah, and in that regard, we were talking about Goodhart's Law at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It is kind of that YouTube thing where YouTube content creators, if they want to like make a review of something, they have to like upload something like numerous times to try and figure out whether they're skirting around content ID because they don't know what the rules exactly are. So you will get things that pop up on nosleep that are like, I was attacked by Slender Man, blah, 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 stuff like that. Right. And they'll be fine. And then other ones that just get taken down indiscriminately. So it's just like hard to figure out, which is why there is a reliance on things like, you know, I was attacked by a goat man or I was attacked by a Wendigo. The reliance on those things because they're kind of icon pasta, creepypasta things, but they're not actually creepypasta things and nobody owns them. So that's why those things are prevalent. That's why those are prevalent.
I bet you could write a successful no-sleep story, depending on time of day you post it, that is about your uncle who was like a birthday clown, and you could do some kind of horror thing related to that. Have it be that he did such in like the 1970s or 80s or whenever the fuck, and one of your neighbors was Stephen King, and you could name your story, I think my uncle was the real Pennywise. And I believe they would leave it up and they would eat it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Anyway, is this me now?
Yeah.
Fuck. Amy and Mike. Am I at Amy and Mike?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, the story is hard to keep track of, which is not the author's problem. Amy and Mike went to search different parts of the building, and I stayed in the kitchen, doing nothing because he obviously wasn't there. I searched the ovens for Bob. However, what I saw almost made me run for my money. I opened the fridge, and
Abysmii humming at the idea of running for my money.
Like, you took the phrase, this will give you a run for your money, and applied it to running scared for your money. I've never seen that before.
Almost made me run for my minimum wage. I opened the fridge, and my eyes welled up with tears when I found the old man's body stuffed into it. How did the werewolf
this is the Wendy's drive-thru story. Didn't this exactly happen? Didn't they find bodies in the freezer?
I think they hid in the freezer. I think they all went into the freezer at the end, like something was trying to get them to go in there to die or something.
Maybe.
But here's my thought. Buzz, is there a window in the manager's office? If there's a window in the manager's office, is Buzz a werewolf and he's just tricking everybody?
Well, we would never be able to definitively say that because we have like Brandon brought up previously, we have very little detail about the actual mundanity of this situation. What are they doing? Where are they? What does the Burger King look like? And I know that for authors, that's not like the most interesting thing to plot out. However, setting and atmosphere are important in horror.
Yeah. You can make those things interesting.
And if you want to, and if your story is, we are in X location and there is a monster outside and you want to base your kind of sequence of events around the monster's outside, I'm in here, this person's outside, I moved to that place, which isn't a bad thing.
He's the caveman, yeah.
Like, you need to set up very specifically what your scene looks like, because now it's just kind of like people are exiting and entering the scene randomly. Oh, there was a freezer? You know, okay. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there was, but it wasn't set up prior, so you're kind of just... It's almost like you're going around this Burger King and things are magically appearing because they need to.
You, the author, will be able to keep track of this stuff in your head and what everything looks like, but us, the reader, will not be able to do that.
Yeah. And we can sit here and be like, oh, of course there's a freezer, but, you know.
Yeah. Allergies are getting to me, boys.
That sucks.
All right, where'd I stop here? Body stuff in it? Body stuff in it? Okay. He had a handkerchief.
Stuff in it.
Body stuff in it. Every Hot Pocket is stuffed with bodies. He had a handkerchief tied around his mouth, and his neck was covered in blue bruises that showed that he died from someone strangling him. So why would what is this werewolf? The werewolf is outside screaming his head off. He kills somebody who comes out. He sneaks in when it's dark.
It's the old universal monster werewolf who just strangles people.
Yeah.
No, wait. So we don't know how they got into the fridge, right? That doesn't make any sense, right?
Yeah.
So that means that there's some sort of teleportation thing going on, and presumably there's cameras, but like there's no footage of this monster, and this person has clearly been strangled. Is this werewolf the person who killed Epstein?
Yes.
Well, the werewolf is Slender Man.
So, fuck.
You're right, I could.
I could barely look at his face, since his eyes were bulging to the point where I thought they were going to fall out of their sockets, and then he muted himself to blow his nose.
No.
You cut out.
Slimebeast? Oh, okay.
Barely managed to whisper. Rest in peace, old man, as I close the refrigerator door.
Damn it. We buried him in that refrigerator 2 months later.
This is bordering on B-movie territory, but then it also borders on just kind of poorly executed territory, so I want to like it, but it's got too many cons.
Was Eugene just one of the pallbearers and they're just like taking a giant fridge?
Yes.
like the scene from when Squidward goes into the future by getting frozen in. Anyway, I thought, how did none of us notice that something like this was happening? I looked around the kitchen one last time to see if anything else wasn't right. And I saw that the Burger King mascot costume was missing from the storage room.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh.
That was when I heard an evil laugh coming from the back entrance, and I saw the mascot standing there menacingly.
It was a werewolf wearing the Burger King head.
Oh, my God. I felt like I needed to leave the forsaken place and never come back. And that's why I never went back to Burger King. But I was outraged that someone, especially one of my coworkers, could strangle that innocent old man.
Nope.
One of his coworkers.
Yeah, one of whose coworkers? I guess the old man's? Weird.
The mascots?
Odd.
I wasn't actually working there. I was just hanging around.
Hanging around back.
So I charged at them and jerked off the mask.
So he's just wrapping his hand around the nose. Huh?
Let me get this straight. The werewolf was a red herring. So this person could... Okay, so it was a meme not too long ago that the Burger King mascot, as depicted in the ads, was very creepy.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't talk and he just has that, like, mannequin-esque face. Which I'm okay with. Why the fuck did you need a werewolf? Like, at all?
First of all, no Burger King has a Burger King mascot costume. Secondly, I think this is suffering from a no-sleep problem that I think was very wonderfully satirized in The Pizza That Eats You, which is, I'm going to write a story about the scenario and there's going to be 73 different supernatural things that happen. Like, there's a werewolf outside, the mascot is alive, people are disappearing, the lights are going out, there's a voice on the phone, there's a spider crawling on the ceiling that's 12 times its size, that type of shit. Like, it's super fucking haunted, guys,
Which begs the question, was this a story that was written prior to submission to No Sleep and then maybe changed to fit into the No Sleep parameters?
No, I think that this was always like this, and it's going to be its home.
Maybe. I think it's my turn.
Yep.
I yelled, "How could you kill Bob?" I was expecting to see one of my coworkers, but there was no one in the costume. Wow, you just yelled at an empty costume. I backed away, shaking from fear. I ran away from the Burger King mask.
I love the idea that somebody nearby just points at him and says, "Wow, dude, nice. You yelled at an empty costume. Epic fail, bro."
So he opens up a fridge, sees his dead coworker, says, "Rip pepperoni," and then closes it, and then turns and sees the mascot, and then yells at the mascot.
Yeah.
Is he drunk?
Yes.
And just assumes the mascot is the person who killed them. That the mascot has any sort of tension in it is just hilarious.
Yeah.
The only way this can get better is if it ends with Eugene actually being the killer.
I hope.
I hallucinated it all and killed all my coworkers.
I backed away, shaking from fear. I ran away from the Burger King mascot and hid in the supply room at the other side of the building. Other side?
I guess where the dining area?
Why would the supply room would be there's usually the two sides of an establishment are like the dining area and then everything else, because you want to keep the customers separate from everything else. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, he said he was at a door at the back, so he's got to go to the front if he's going to the other side of the building.
Yeah, there's just the supply room that's like really far away and on the other side of the building from the freezer.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am. I know you're trying to enjoy your meal here with your family, but if you could move your chair, it's in front of the supply room door at the front of the building.
God damn it.
I thought I would be alone in there since I thought that Amy and Mike were both still searching for Bob, but then I felt a hand on my shoulder. Blah, 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 can't talk. I jumped, and the hand covered my mouth before I could yell out. The voice said, "Gene, it's me, Amy. Get your dick out. It's okay."
I instantly relaxed because I could tell it was Amy. The hand was Asian. Oh, wow. It did come in play. It came into play.
Well, there you go. Hey,
it's Chekhov's race.
If they don't bang in the closet, I'm going to be so angry.
Oh, God. No, I was like literally thinking that. Like, I would forgive this story if just like everything else just like fell away and they just started viciously making out and finger banging.
Great.
I made love to Amy in the closet until we heard a knock at the door. "Who's in there?" said Amy's voice. I turned and it was the mascot costume in the closet with me.
Go away, I said.
What if they just keep fucking in there and then the police show up and they're like, "Listen, we killed the werewolf and the mascot. What are you guys doing in there?"
What? Oh, yeah. Horrible tragedy. Have you checked the fridge yet?
Oh, God. I think there's something in the fridge that, you might need to put a few bullets into. It's an old man wearing
an old dead man.
I turned around to see that Mike and Amy were... threesome. Mike and Amy were both hiding in the closet. I asked, "What are you guys doing in here?" Then Mike cocked
Amy gets down on her knees.
Yes! It's all an elaborate ruse just to cuck Eugene. Amy reassured me. "It's not what it looks like."
Oh, God.
We saw the creature outside and ran in here to get away from it, which is exactly what it looks like.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, that's what you would think in this situation.
Mike added, "Yeah." I asked in disbelief, "So you went outside?"
Why would... That's where you assumed they were.
The author is so porn-brained that they're just like, it's not what it looks like. We're hiding from a monster.
There's a spooky werewolf. We had to take off our pants because, they hate nudity.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Uh-huh.
That's the best way to deal with a werewolf. The werewolf gets all big and muscly and rips off of its clothes. You need to rip off your clothes to re-intimidate it.
Assert dominance.
Dominance, yeah.
You have to be superhuman in face of the werewolf. Not like superhuman, but like really human. You have to be like, "Look at this. I'm just a normal man."
Amy ripped off her Burger King serfdom clothes and revealed her Asian body.
Nice, I said.
Well endowed
Nice.
bust. Slender frame. With childbearing hips.
God damn it.
She looked a lot like all of the Michelle Kwan porn I have on my computer.
Her crotch was blurred in a mosaic.
She looked a lot like Hitomi Jacob. Amy explained, "Well, we're considering it, but then we saw a glimpse of the werewolf and decided it was best not to go out there." I commented, "I wouldn't have gone out there either. I'm glad you're both safe." That's your comment.
You literally were sending them out there, but okay.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching fucking scary movie or something.
Yeah, it does kind of feel that way. Amy asked, "Did you find Bob?" I hung my head and answered, "Yeah, someone or something strangled him and stuffed him in the fridge."
See, here's the thing. When you said you feel like you were watching Scary Movie, I almost said, "Yeah, except it's not funny," but then I caught myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I finally saw Scream, the first Scream, the other day.
Good.
Good movie. Fun. I didn't realize for the longest time that it's just filled with dark comedy and it's a, deconstruction of the slasher genre. I just didn't know. And after watching it, I'm like, wow, Scary Movie was an utterly, unnecessary thing to make. There's no point in that fucking movie because Scream has already done it, but it's trying to satirize Scream?
It's like trying to make a spoof of Airplane. It's like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing?
Funnier than that is, okay, you get Scream, deconstruction, blah, 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 and then you get Scary Movie, unnecessary movie. But then there's another movie called I Know What You Did Last Friday the 13th, which is, I shit you not, kind of satirizing Scary Movie in a weird way.
Interesting.
And it's actually kind of funny. Like, it gets so fucking meta and up its ass that it's actually funny.
Huh. I may have to check that out.
There's a good scene in it where they're like kids at in like high school and everything, and they have lunchbox, like what do you call that, food trays, and on them is a little sippy bottle of Jack Daniels, like like the little juice boxes. It's that, but it's Jack Daniels, and I'm like, that's a little funny visual gag.
That's nice
Because they're adults.
Because they're adults. Yeah, that's the joke. It's just they're
adults who are playing high schoolers.
Yeah, exactly.
Amy cried, "That's terrible. Who would do such a thing?" I said, "I know this sounds crazy, but I was the Burger King mascot suit walking around." I thought that it was one of you guys trying to mess with me, but I pulled off the head and no one was in it. There was nothing but chunky yellow blood. That's how I ended up in here with you guys. I was hoping that they'd agree with me that I sounded crazy, but neither of them said a word. You were hoping that they would agree that you sounded crazy. You were hoping they would disbelieve you.
I guess it's better than the mascot costume existing. Yeah.
What is happening? This is so strange.
That all happened around 2 in the morning. The three of us were... Wait, okay, let me start over again. That all happened around 2 in the morning. The 3 of us were too scared to leave and risk being killed. Is that a hidden message in here? Do we need that code later to unlock a door?
Beep, 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 beep.
So we stayed put in the supply room for the rest of the night until the manager came back the next morning. The manager is back. We were wrong. He's in it. Came back the next morning before opening hours. We made him jump back from surprise when we emerged from the closet looking like zombies from the lack of sleep. We were naked and fucked out of our minds. Fear from the events that happened last night kept us awake all night. Plus we were in a fucking closet. So yeah, you're not sleeping. What the fuck?
Tom asked with a raised eyebrow, "What were you doing in the supply room? And where was Bob and Buzz? I noticed that they both have ejected for work today."
Oof.
I explained, well, there was a werewolf and a possessed mascot costume that came after them and killed them last night.
Why two things? Go all out with a bunch of crazy bullshit, or do one.
Know.
Why 2?
Yeah, this middle ground does not work. Tom looked at us and stated firmly, "Look, I don't care what you guys do during the night shift. Like, I think you do. As long as you do your jobs. I don't want to hear about your drug-induced fantasies."
God damn it.
Wine is fine. It's for adults.
Get out of my wine closet.
Yeah.
They just opened the cellar and it's just like, why is there all this wine in here?
That is the perfect front to an illegal wine smuggling operation of fucking Burger King.
Yeah, sure.
I said quickly, "I can prove it. I'll show
Tom sighed and said, boy. Okay, lead the way, Gene. Okay, lead the way, Gene. I led them all to the fridge and opened it. But Bob's dead body wasn't in there, surprise everyone. Amy and Mike had the same confused expressions that I had as Tom scowled at us. He stated, "You better not be wasting my time. Time is money." Time is money, and you better run for your money.
Amy reminded us, "What about the werewolf outside? Maybe Buzz's body is still out there."
Tom said, "I'll come check with you guys. Fuck it. But if there's nothing out there, then you are going straight to work. No more of this monkey business."
Oh, boy.
We all went outside to examine the drive-thru, but Buzz was nowhere to be seen.
Oh, God, I just read ahead.
No, okay.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Tom huffed. "Like I said, you were all doing drugs last night and saw stuff that didn't happen." Mike stated, "We wasn't doing dope, sir."
Oh my God.
"We wasn't doing dope, sir."
We wasn't Slingy the Stringy, no we weren't.
See, what had happened was, my brother... God damn.
Jesus Christ.
If you're going to write people... Okay, this is a tip. This is... People say, oh, Slimebeast, he's an anti-SJW alt-right, piece of shit. If you're going to write people of other nationalities, other races, other genders, other sexual preferences, other religions, other everything, write them just like normal people. You don't have to try and be like, this person was an Eskimo, so he said, in Alaska we eat snow, here we have burger. You don't have to do that.
The Eskimo came up to me and said all 300 words for snow that they have.
We were there for hours.
Man, I can't believe this place. They don't serve any snow burgers. Amy added, yeah, we didn't do any drugs at all.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Spoken like someone who just did all of the drugs.
Yeah.
And Tom said, I don't want to hear it. Now get back to work.
Yes, there are 2 people missing. They didn't check out. Just get back to work. This is how jobs work.
You come into the building. You come into the building. 3 of your employees are hiding in the closet, and they burst out and startle you. They say that 2 of your employees are dead, and those 2 employees have not shown up for work. Nothing here to see. Let's just get back to work. There's no lines to be connected.
Isn't this technically the next shift?
Yeah. Get back to work. You work here forever.
They haven't done closing procedures. There should be other people there. Something is so very amiss. No one else presumably showed up at the Burger King through the drive-thru at all that night.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's fun.
This is, do you need to address all these things? No, but the way you've written this makes your audience think, hold on a minute, none of this adds up.
Wait a minute.
I knew that something happened. 3 of us all knew that, whether our manager believed us or not. That was when I refused to work there any longer. I said, I quit.
Take that, corporate America.
The end.
You showed and then you told that you quit.
Get back to work, Burger Serf.
I like this comment here from Dolls000. Damn, OP, you really dodged a bullet there. Sounds like it could have been a werewolf, but that mascot really creeped me out, especially since you found it moving and then there was no one in it. Yeah.
Can we start calling characters that are introduced by a name and ethnicity Asian Amy's from now on?
I
mean, everybody who hears us say that without context is going to get the wrong idea, but sure.
Yeah, this is true.
Which one is worse? Which one's more damning to hear? Asian Amy or Black Mike?
Black Mike?
Probably.
Mike Black?
I like LaserGirl84's comment. Your boss is Mr. Krabs, and you're named Eugene, which I didn't even realize, but that's totally true.
Eugene, is his name Eugene Krabs?
Eugene Krabs, yeah.
Oh my god. Is Andy just Sandy? Sandy Andy?
This is...
Amy, what the fuck am I saying? Is Amy just Sandy?
Is one name a different name?
Yeah.
His other name Purple Guy?
Amy was Asian. Well, SpongeBob, get over here, she said. Anyway.
This story, it just feels very cookie cutter, no sleep, and unfortunately possesses a lot of the hallmarks that makes no sleep stories, in my opinion, bad, subjectively bad, poorly thought out, has to have a monster, none of the dialogue is realistic. There's a couple of standout portions that are like, oh, that this sounds like it's from personal experience, but then the rest of the story is just so off-kilter that then I immediately question, wait, do you even know anything about restaurants?
Mm-hmm.
I think to me the biggest thing that I take away from this, and this is just my personal perspective, is I don't like the idea, and this is a big no sleep thing, but it's in a lot of writing, is not planning out what you're going to do. Because it's just like, oh, what if there's like a werewolf? But then like, what if there's like a Burger King ghost? And like, what if people disappear? And none of it's going anywhere. None of it means anything. It's not like we're going to read this like 2 more times, 3 more times, and then like, oh, now I get it. Like this, it links up to that. Like, no, there wasn't a plan. There was not a plan. There was no forethought into the story. It's just, let's try and put spooky things together, and it just ruins it for me. Now, don't ruin it for me.
Here's the thing. I think
they take off the Burger King mascot head, and it's like, don't ruin this for me.
I've been going around to every Burger King and fucking with people. It's funny to me.
What else am I going to do?
King Obama.
All right, so Burger Obama.
Obama Burger.
So here's my thought. What if Tom, the manager, okay, he's the werewolf, right? He leaves, kills some people, does whatever. But the thing is, his assistant manager, this is a supernaturally owned chain restaurant. His assistant manager, Buzz, is a ghost, okay? He's a ghost, and he possesses the mascot costume, and so the two of them, the whole thing was just to kill Bob, just to feed the werewolf for the night.
Why would you kill off one of your staff as opposed to just a random person outside the Burger King?
Well, older people make more money, so this is just a way to cut down on costs.
Yeah,
they probably they have like a job offering poster, like a flyer up on the notice board at the local retirement home, and somebody just comes in once in a while and they just, eats them. So. But
he hadn't saved up enough money to retire.
The nursing home then.
Who's gonna? Oh man, no. This story, like so many no sleeps, leaves you with questions. Not questions like, oh, I can put together the mystery. It's questions of none of this makes sense. There's no mystery to solve because it's poorly thought out.
Yeah. You need to go big or make sense. Go big with a bunch of hauntings that don't make any sense and it's all crazy, and when you're done reading it, you're like, well, at least that was fun. Yeah. Or make sense and have something, logical. Anyway.
Absolutely. I think we're on the same page.
So we've done Wendy's drive-thru, we've done Burger King drive-thru. When are we doing Jack in the Box drive-thru? There was a guy named Jack that I worked with, and we found him dead in a box.
Jack in the Box was the burger meat. Oh my god. Oh.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Dexter Lashfield is teaching us a new way of inspiring ourselves by teaching us that we can treat free will as an illusion, and the correct decision will make itself known.
When people see someone with one arm, they're thinking a question even if they don't ask it. And that question is, did you have an accident or were you born that way? Well, I'm going to put you all out of your misery. I know you're wondering. I was in an accident with God because my soul is mortal and I had the freedom to choose what to do. So before I was born, I asked God to withhold my arm and all of its post-mortal sin. But one day, I will meet God and I will take back my birthright from him by force if necessary.
Dexter Lashfield predicted the 2008 recession in a dream, and now he wants to share his techniques with those who are worthy.
I know what you're all thinking. This suave guy with one arm and a tailored hot pink suit is going to try and sell me a timeshare. But the truth is, I'm going to share with you the time I pulled a knife on the former CEO of Enron and got out of legal trouble by leveraging what I call blackmail.
For the past 15 years, Lashfield has been rebuilding businesses one by one with spiritual healing in his intense seminars.
When I was a child, I was watching a documentary on the History Channel with my grandfather, and a man came at a podium and started gesticulating vigorously. And I asked my grandpops, "Hey, old-timer, who's that man?" To wit, he responded, "That man inspired a lot of people to do terrible things." And that's when I decided I wanted to be an inspirational speaker.
Now those same seminars are being made public, not for millions of dollars, but based on an isosceles triangle-shaped pay scale.
This business is in trouble. You're all thinking about it. That merger, you can see it on the horizon. And you know it's best for all parties, but is it what's best for you? Please, don't look at my arm. It's not there. Look at my heart. Like I previously said in the story about the Chinese pagoda, just walk upwards and it starts becoming clear. Then don't follow that merger. You should sell the company to me. I'd sign the agreement right now. This is like playing Risk with your family. It'll hurt when Russia invades, but daddy's gotta eat.
If you're worthy, go to .com to learn more. If you didn't comprehend Mr. Lashfield's mind verbiage, then you are not worthy.
Once people see my second arm, the Heaven Breaker, in a dream vision, they know for sure that the kingdom will fall. Then boom, the market's at my will.
Buttsmithy.com.
You already did this.
Specifically Alfie.
You already did this.
Just finished a chapter.
You don't know what he's plugging.
Yes, that's right.
But
Just finished a chapter specifically loaded with a bunch of snake women porn. So if that's your thing, because it is my thing, go catch up on that shit.
To be fair, he is not plugging buttsmithy.com. He is plugging snake porn.
I see. You're one of those dudes that likes to be constricted, I guess.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Are you, if it's not that, I would guess you're into vor, then?
Look, there is a lot, and I mean a lot of panels of people's heads just getting smushed and suffocated into giant snake tits.
Okay.
So it's definitely a running theme in that chapter.
Giant snake tits.
Everybody, welcome to 2 months of big country plugs. People are going to drop into a fucking episode and just be like, "Oh, what's the Fear Fiction podcast? They have a sponsored plug at the end, huh? What are they going to talk about? Big country plugs, snake tits in your mouth,
Big country plugs, shove them in and destroy your anus." Yeah.
I bet you, oh man, it's a very simple chord progression. I could probably write something around
Do it.
this.
Texas-shaped butt plugs.
Well, that's encroaching on the Toby Keith butt plugs.
Yeah, we already did that.
Oh, well.
Which can also be found at your local rural Target.
Mm-hmm. We've done Wendy's drive-thru. We've done Burger King drive-thru. When are we doing Jack in the Box drive-thru? There was a guy named Jack that I worked with, and we found him dead in a box.
Jack in the Box was the burger meat. Oh my god.
Oh.
I jacked off his jerk head.
That's
we cut it
yeah,
there.
that sucks. cut that earlier. What the fuck?
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know.